Howdy, guys. Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live and going right into essentially what Congress has come up with from the Senate floor and also the House of Representatives, House of those people floor, to basically present on this amazing but incredibly important topic called Social Security benefits. We're going to try that again and do it a little bit better. The House and the Senate made these. We're going to go through them and you're going to either like them or hate them. But these are the most important Social Security bills that are being brought forward into the committees right now. Now, with that said, I want you to understand how it works before we go into it in detail. Number one, some of these are new ideas, some of these are old ideas. Some of them have lots of sponsors. People are all on board. Some of them don't. If it has Republican sponsors joining the Democrats, then it's likely to be very popular and it might get joined into a bigger act. But what's important to realize is that these have been presented. And if you're wondering, like, what is the most important potential thing that Congress will do, it's not a stimulus payment. That ain't coming. I know everybody gets frantic about that one. If you want to watch people that have 5 times as many viewership, numbers as I do, they're the ones with the fake stimulus news. Here's the deal. Here's what Congress has actually passed. Number one, well, not passed, sorry, has brought forward to the committees. All right. This is S.664, a bill to ensure that Social Security beneficiaries receive a regular statement from the Social Security Administration and for other purposes. This was brought forward by Senator Bill Cassidy, Republican from Louisiana. It was introduced 3/6/23, so a couple months ago. The bill requires the Social Security Administration to mail paper copies of Social Security statements to each individual with a Social Security number at particular times and intervals. The SSA must mail the statements whenever an individual enters the workforce or starts a new job. That's a lot of paperwork. In addition, the SSA must mail the statements periodically throughout an individual's life from age 25 to 54. The SSA must mail the statements at least once every 5 years from age 55 to 59. The SSA must mail the statements at least once every 2 years. So when you get older, 55 plus, you get every 2 years. After age 60, the SSA must mail the statements annually. You get it once every year. An individual may opt out of receiving the paper statements. Hence, they'll be using the mysocialsecurity.gov website where you have your profile. Next one, S.692. We're ripping through Congress right now. A bill to require the Social Security Administration to make changes to the Social Security terminology used in the rules, regulations, guidance, or other materials of the administration. Now, this one is a manipulative little bill. I understand the psychology behind it, but this one is a manipulative little bill. Okay. Remember that S.692 brought forward by Bill Cassidy again, Senator, Republican, Louisiana. All right. I could not essentially get the summary because they didn't create the summary on this yet. It was basically brought forward. It was read twice and referred to the Committee on Finance on 3/7/23. But let me give you a sample of essentially what they're trying to do here. Okay. I'll read it directly from the actual bill language so you can see how manipulative this thing is. It's not bad. It's just manipulative. Like sometimes, these bills are manipulative to get people to do one thing and not the other. Word choice, super important with Congress. Here we go. To require the Social Security Administration to make changes to the Social Security terminology used in the rules, regulations, guidance, or other materials of the administration. Okay. Let me give you an example of one of them. Hold on. Okay. The term early eligibility age is replaced with the term minimum benefit age. So what they're trying to do there is tell people, hey, look, instead of you getting an early eligibility age at 62 for retirement, instead of you getting the early eligibility, you're going to be picking what's called the minimum benefit age. Because, it's usually within the best interest financially for essentially the Social Security Administration to not have to pay you early, which should also tell you something about what they think is going to be happening with inflation, what's going to be happening with monthly benefits, and what's going to be happening with trust funds. So they're saying get rid of early eligibility age, and switch it with minimum benefit age. I mean, they could call it the crappy option, the low budget option, retirement. They could call it those things, but it's a little bit classier, the minimum benefit age. Next one, the term's full retirement age. Oh, wow. Oh, New York Frank. Thank you. Thank you for the $4.99 donation. Really cool little egg logo there. Very cool. Love the laughing pear. Very cool. So the terms full retirement age and normal retirement age, we all call it FRA, right, are replaced with the term Standard benefit age. Standard benefit age. That's 66, 67. It's going to be 67 for pretty much everybody pretty soon. But the reason why is they're trying to teach your brain to go ahead and take the benefits farther down the line. Okay. Now we go to the next thing that they want to do. The term delayed retirement credit shall not be used as any reference to age 70, as the maximum age up to which delayed retirement credits can be received shall be replaced with the term maximum benefit age. Now, almost always, it is not in the best interest of people to take their maximum benefit age unless they know they're going to live for a long time. They've spoken with somebody who can forecast in the future, gotten out their tarot cards and said, you will not be injured in a car accident and then die early. So long as you have those credentials under your belt, and basically, you're like, okay, the increase in benefits is going to work for me, and I can wait that long, and I have money in a trust fund and, parents from New York City, then at that point, you can opt into the potential future named maximum benefit age. So just to summarize, instead of early eligibility age, full retirement age, and delayed retirement credit, we're talking about minimum benefit age, standard benefit age, and maximum benefit age. It's manipulative, but we can all kind of see what they're trying to do here. All right, next one. We're ripping through Congress on this one. Here we go. None of these have passed yet. HR, the HR means House of Representatives. The S means Senate. Obviously, you knew that. HR 3765, improving Social Security service to victims of Identity Theft Act, okay, 108th Congress, 2023 to 2024. This was brought through by Drew Ferguson. He's a Republican out of Georgia. And what's interesting is that let's just have a little moment together. I'll get closer. A little moment together. Okay, here we are. I'll whisper. I'll make it nice. What you need to know is that Republicans are getting smart about two things. Thing number one, how to use memes. Thing number two, how to go ahead and pass things or present things in Congress that are related to Social Security benefits. Because normally they wouldn't touch them. They don't do that stuff. Normally that's all Democrat stuff. But with that said, here's this one. The bill requires the Social Security Administration to provide a single point of contact for any individual whose Social Security account number has been misused. This single point of contact must track the individual's case to completion and coordinate with other specialized units to resolve case issues as quickly as possible. That's never going to pass. The SSA, okay, look, here's the thing. When the SSA is in a state of crisis like it is right now, where it's losing way too many employees to be able to replace them, when they're in that setting, which they're in right now, they're in literally a crisis state, right? They don't have enough employees. They don't even have enough people to go ahead and train the new people kind of gig. That's the problem that they're running into. That's what I'm hearing anyways. I'm not in there, but the reports are showing definitively that they're losing a lot of employees. They're not going to be able to provide one person whose only job is to work on that thing. I mean, maybe they could create a new task force, a new agency within the agency, yada yada. But I mean, let's be fair here. Government don't want to pay for Social Security agency because government don't want to pay for Social Security benefits because government has other stuff that it wants to do with money. Because government is so busy with finding ways to spend money, burn a hole in their pocket, that the richest country on earth when it comes to making money is also it is the poorest country on earth. We just have big credit cards and we pay them off at the last moment. That's how we make it. We're like that chick from California that just makes it look good, but really isn't doing well on the inside. Now, with that said, I think this is important. I think this is very important. When it comes to this stuff, we would know that the government cares more about Social Security recipients if we were seeing them challenging and making money and putting money away for the SSA, for Social Security recipients by lowering the retirement age from 67 to 65, 65 to 63, 63 to 60. If we saw those actions, then we would know the government had the intentions of supporting the American people. But instead, they're working on how do we raise the retirement from 67 to 69 for all those good old people that have student loans that will never get paid off. We're going to do it to them, right? That's where they're at right now. Okay, cool. Awesome. Again, we're going to wave it a little bit. Here we go. Give it a little good luck. Maybe one will pass. HR 3667, Social Security Child Protection Act of 2023. Brought forward by Brad Wenstrup, Republican, Ohio. Well, that's a lot of Republicans here. There's got to be some Democrats in here. These are like the more recent ones. Wait a minute. Did I like click something? No, there's a Democrat in here. I got worried there for a moment. I was like, did I accidentally like safe search Republicans only or something? Or I don't know why I said safe search. It's just, but I like, because, when you bring it in Google, that's what you get. But we're on our, what are we on here, people? We're on our fourth bill. There's a lot of Republicans in these bills. Something's going on here, people. That's not how this normally works. Something's going on. All right, here we go. HR 3667, Social Security Child Protection Act 2023, presented. Doesn't have it. That's okay. Committee meeting 6/7/23, like a month ago, 9 a.m. House Ways and Means. Okay, here it was presented by Brad Wenstrup, Republican, Ohio. Introduced 5/25/23. So this is a really new bill. It's in front of Ways and Means. That means this one's got some legs to it. It's only got 4 co-sponsors though. The bill directs the Social Security Administration to issue a new Social Security number to a child under the age of 14 if the child's Social Security card was stolen while being sent. That's actually a really good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. We should pass that. Yeah, they'll probably pass that one because that's not super expensive. Although I can see where there's a lot of potential fraud out of that. You just steal a bunch of kids' Social Security numbers and then they get new ones. You keep the old one and then here we go. Yeehaw. All right. HR 521, Social Security Guarantee Act of 2023. Alexander Mooney, Republican, Wyoming, introduced 125/23, beginning of the year. It's with the Ways and Means. They're trying to figure out the money on it. It's got a total of 2 co-sponsors. So, again, not super popular, but it's good to see it's in the Ways and Means. All right, let's see what we got here. This bill, the bill requires the Department of Treasury to issue certificates to Social Security beneficiaries that guarantees them the full monthly benefit amount to which they are entitled and at least an annual cost of living increase to their benefits. It also provides additional mandatory funding for those benefits. Currently, Social Security beneficiaries are entitled to their benefits, but benefits are primarily funded through a payroll tax, including assets derived from the tax held in reserve. Actuarial projections reported by the Social Security Board of Trustees indicate that in 2035, which is not correct, it's more like 2033, and they're actually going to bring it back down to 2030, or they're going to bring it down to 2032. There will be insufficient tax revenue and reserved assets to cover the full amount of benefit payments. So what this bill is about, just to summarize, just so you understand, is that they're going to go ahead and basically create a bill that they hope becomes a law that will issue certificates so that whether or not the trust funds are full of money and can continue to pay, and if they're not, it won't matter. You will still get your money in the form of a certificate, and you'll get it as if nothing changed, and you will get it as if basically, they essentially had, kept and found and made money available to these trust funds. I think that's really great. It also says it's found assets to use for it. I'll have to read further into it because that's kind of a big push, a big option, a yada yada. But it is being presented by a Republican, so there's probably some people have to, like, my generation will get screwed over. Like that, if you're ever wondering why Social Security people that like study this stuff at a young age are in Washington, D.C., and they're like, they're not huge fans of the Republican Party if they're concerned about Social Security benefits, because the Republican Party's answers to a lot of these things are screw over the next couple of generations to bolster and repay for things. But at the same time, the Democrats just basically screw over everybody with taxes, more FICA taxes, who are working. So you're either screwing over the youth or you're screwing over basically everybody. Everybody gets screwed. All right, here we go. Next one. Congress HR 1467, Locality-Based Social Security Benefits Act of 2023. Grace Meng, Democrat, New York, introduced 3823. House Ways and Means has 0 co-sponsors. That's not good. Refer to the House Committee on Ways and Means of 3823. Let's see what this says. The bill directs the Social Security Administration to increase an individual's monthly Social Security benefit amount based on where the individual resides. Specifically, the SSA must increase the individual's benefit amount in accordance with a location-based rate that is typically used to adjust the pay of federal workers. Now, let me tell you something. Oh, Shirley, thank you for the $2.99 donation. Very, very cool. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you. So let me tell you about this little thing right here. Government employees get different rates of pay based off of where they're located. And what they're saying is people should get different rates of pay based off of where they're located for their Social Security benefits. And to be fair, just to summarize what I know you're wondering, yes, all of the Democrat states have a much higher likelihood that people will get more money on a monthly basis if something like this goes through, because you essentially can live on less in more of the Republican states. We found out that New Jersey was the highest average for Social Security benefits, and it's probably also one of the more expensive states to live in, which is why they have all these taxes, and it's just politically, it's a terrible, terrible state. But the point is, if this passes, the Democrat states will essentially receive more benefits for their Social Security recipients. However, the offset is, of course, that many of the Democrat states tend to be much more expensive to live in. However, the other option is that the Democrat states tend to have much better medical facilities. So that's something to think about as well. Okay. Which, obviously for Social Security recipients, disabled, retired, spousal, widows, disabled adult child, hospitals are going to be important. All right. Next one. We're flipping through it, guys. Here we go. Here we go. HRES 178. Affirming the House of Representatives' commitment to protect and strengthen Social Security and Medicare. Who brought this forward? Daniel T. Kildee, Democrat, looks like Michigan, introduced 22823, Ways and Means, has 0 co-sponsors. 31023 referred to the Subcommittee on Health. Here it is. This resolution expressed the sense of the House of Representatives that Social Security and Medicare should be strengthened. It also condemns commissions and the privatization of Social Security benefits. All right, so here's the deal. This is kind of a useless bill. So, I mean, sure, it affirms where the Democrats are at in the House, but it doesn't really do anything for you. It doesn't. Like, in the long-term sense, I know where they stand. Yeah, I guess maybe that like smallest value to you, but to me, in all reality, it's this totally useless bill. That's a resolution right there. All right, let's this paper is, my apologies. If you ever see me struggling to flip the paper, it's because I buy the kind of paper that is questionable and probably would not be used in normal offices. Because, let's call it like it is. You don't make a lot doing disability law. All right, HRES 73, expressing the sense of the House of Representatives that Medicare, blah, blah, blah. Is this the same one? Debbie Lesko, Republican, Arizona. Should be strengthened for you. Oh, okay, all right, here we go. All right, this resolution affirms the House of Representatives' obligation to fulfill the promises made to senior citizens of the United States regarding access to Medicare and Social Security. It also rejects any changes to Medicare or Social Security that diminish benefits for Americans currently enrolled or soon to be enrolled. Oh, see, there it is. There it is. I don't know if you got it right there. I'm going to read it to you nice and slow. You're gonna hear it and you'll be like, oh, that's where they get. Okay. It also rejects any change. This is the Republican version of the last one we just read, which was the Democrat version. Republican version. It also rejects any changes to Medicare or Social Security that diminishes benefits for Americans currently enrolled or soon to be enrolled. But what you're not hearing in there is everybody else. Me, this guy, the guy that's paying in right now, he's going to be screwed. He is going to be screwed over because I'm not part of category A, Americans currently enrolled and retired or on disability benefit, or soon to be enrolled because I am not old enough to be soon to be enrolled because I am not in my 50s. Debbie Lesko. Arizona. I'm going to watch them. All right. I'm going to watch them. In the Medicare program or the old age survivors and disability insurance program. Let me just explain. If you're like, in your latter 30s, early 30s, 40s, early 50s, 20s, teens, let me just lay it out for you. Let me put some butter on the bagel right here. Okay. The Social Security program is going to suck more. It's going to suck more. It's just not going to be a good thing for you. And I guarantee you, if you learn how to do investments properly by not following the advice of old people, I know that sounds crazy to the old people watching this, but if you look to all the old people watching this, when you told me to save my money in a local bank, you were so wrong. You were so wrong. Why did you do that to me? I mean, I didn't have much money to begin with, so it wasn't a big mistake. It was like, here's my Pez, I'm going to dispense my cash out of the Pez dispenser, put it in the bank. When people are like, man, how much money did you lose with COVID? I was like, a lot of money I had yet to make. When people are like, how much money did you lose with your portfolio? I was like, it's made out of paper, bro. But not the kind that you can hand to a bank. I'm sorry. But anyway, the point is with this, and I want you to be very understanding here, there are many ways to invest. Just don't do the ways the old people tell you to. Just don't do it. And for all the old people listening, who had your 5% returns at the bank when you would put $1 in, for all the old people listening, how did you screw it up this bad? Like, how did you get me in this position at this time in my life? Like, I know I take some on my shoulders. I do. I mean, sure, I had predatory little Tony student loans that I'm never going to be able to pay off. Sure, I got those. That's partly on me, partly on you. And yeah, sure, nothing's really made in this country other than teddy bears and guns and a little bit of chocolate. Yeah, sure, I got that too, but which is all on you, guys. And sure, the mega corporations that are completely uncontrolled to the point where there's no true capitalism, but rather a monopolistic capitalism that exists in this republic. That shit's all on you. That's all on you guys. The old ones, that's all on you. You did that to my generation. All right, now back to the fuzzies right here, okay? The resolution also expresses the House's commitment that these programs should be strengthened and preserved and express support for efforts to reduce waste. That's my generation. They're talking about if you're in your latter 30s right here, when they say reduced waste, they're talking about getting rid of us. Fraud and abuse in these programs. They're going to have CDI units on every corner. Let me tell you. All right, here we go. Next one. Let's flip through these. We're having a good time. We're having a good time. We're having a great time. HR 1688. We're back to the House Rep. No more resolutions. The Social Security Cost of Living Increase Act of 2023. Here we go. This was Ways and Means Committee, has no co-sponsors. Christopher Smith, Republican, New Jersey. I didn't even know they had any Republicans in New Jersey. That's amazing. I'm amazed he's still alive. That's great. Wow. Good for you, man. Christopher Smith. Good for you. I'm surprised. Congratulations. All right. 32123 referred to Committee on Ways and Means. So it's at the beginnings, but all right, here we go. The bill bases cost of living adjustments for Social Security benefits on a price index that tracks the spending patterns of older consumers. The Bureau of Labor Statistics of the Department of Labor must publish that price index on a monthly basis. He's just talking about switching the index, from CPI-W to CPI-E. Nothing new here. Democrats have been trying to do that for 1,000 years. I mean, not that long. We know how it is. All right. HR 875, Protecting Social Security and Medicare Act, brought forward by John James, who is a Republican in Michigan, introduced 2823. I'm guessing Ways and Means. It's in the Ways and Means. Co-sponsors, it's got two, his mom and his dad. All right, let's go to it. Protecting Social Security and Medicare Act. Here we go. This bill authorizes Medicare and Social Security payments to be made in full, even if the federal debt limit is reached. Such payments do not count against the debt limit until after the debt limit has been raised by authorizing legislation. Wait a minute. This bill authorizes Medicare and Social Security payments to be made in full, even if the federal debt limit is reached. So this right here is not needed. There's already a rule in the books that says they have to continue to pay you guys your retirement benefits, your Medicare benefits, if the debt ceiling, if you hit it. So I don't think this guy is aware, this John James, that there's already a rule specifically for that. So, and we did a whole bunch of videos on it specifically because of the government shutdown. So that's a wasteful bill. All right. HR 1618, Commission on Sustaining Medicare and Social Security Act of 2023. Here we go. Ways and Means Committee has zero co-sponsors. So no mom and dad on there. Let's see, by Gus Bilirakis. There we go. Republican, Florida. I should know his name then. I mean, I'm in Florida. Introduced 31723, but I don't know his name. All right, let's go here. Commission on Sustaining Medicare and Social Security Act of 2023. The bill temporarily establishes the Commission on Sustaining Medicare and Social Security within the legislative branch to report on specified information relating to the Medicare program and the Social Security retirement and disability programs. The report must address, number one, let's get this straight because I don't want to screw this up, the impact of using alternative price indexes to determine cost of living adjustments. Okay, that's they already have that for the most part. Stephen Goss did report on that. Number two, the impact of using alternative formulas to calculate certain Medicare premiums. I don't think they have that. I don't think they have that. Number three, recommendations to prevent fraud, increase integrity, increase sustainability, and reduce improper payments in the programs. Well, that's the whole CDI programs with the CDR units. So, where they come and investigate you, they tell you a story and then end up in your house somehow. Well, that was actually made. The judges ruled that was wrong, although they didn't punish the guy because it was just too unknown what the rules should be with this stuff. So remember, we did a video on that. Okay, I guess this is good. That's an okay one. But I think what's happening here is 2023 is known as like the Republicans ponying up with a bunch of bills to be submitted so that they look like they were part of the question of the fight for Social Security benefits going into the 2024 presidential election. That's all of them. All 10 of them. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were a little gluttonous with your wanting all 10 of them. I did not print out an 11th because I forgot. And I have another video coming out very, very soon. And I think it's actually a really cool video. And these are 5 Social Security facts that are lesser known. And I think they're really, really neat. Now, please remember, if you enjoy these videos and you think they are stupendous, okay, please remember to like, subscribe, and if you could leave a review on Google for the law firm, because as you know, 9 to 5, I work at Disability Resolution PA. I am an attorney. I represent people for disability benefits. If you could go to Google and type in Disability Resolution Law Firm or Disability Resolution Florida, and then write a review, I prefer the 5 stars. I love waking up to see those. They make me so happy. Okay. I'm now going to prep for the next video. So give me 5 minutes. I'm going to go get a drink. I will catch you in the next video and I will see you guys there. A super thank you to those who showed up and hung out tonight during the live show. A super thank you to the future people who are going to be watching this. And then also a super thank you to those who donated. That's the ultra thank you. I will catch you guys a little bit later and see you in 5 minutes. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.